Oh, well, my name's Fox, so you know Fox. I'm about to go watch Kung Fu Panda 4. So right now I'm going like I've been told things. FYI, the audio's gonna get better later, but I've been told things that like it's not as great as the other ones and all this other stuff. I'm gonna go in with the idea that it's gonna look good. I already like some of the characters that I've seen. I haven't seen any really of the trailers, so I'm just gonna go into it, and then the rest of the video will be me after watching. So just see you in a minute.
Don't you know I still believe if you could be all, give me a sign, hit me baby one more time. Can you even see handsome? Alright, so I just got out of Kung Fu Panda. They should have been a little clip of me in the beginning before this, and my audio should be better now, hopefully. I got the popcorn bucket. Alright, I want to watch the trailer first, and then I'm going to go into it. Alright, let's just get it. 3, 2.
It is time
Jack
to
Black,
take
Kung
the
Fu
next step
trailer
on your
now.
journey.
I'm not gonna be the Dragon Warrior anymore?
You will advance to spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace.
Inner peace. Inner peace.
Keep your surf off my turf!
Dinner,
Dinner,
please.
please. Dinner with peas. In a sesame soy glaze. This is not working at all.
Oh boy, is there going to be cutting out some of this music.
Once I possess the kung fu of every master villain, no one will dare question my power.
Wow, it's definitely good that I didn't watch any of the trailers.
And the great Dragon Warrior.
Who's that?
The most powerful shape-shifting sorceress, the chameleon.
How do I find this? The chameleon.
I'm gonna lead you right to her front door.
It was against an army!
Then we'll just have to get an army of
I
them.
remember that one. I remember that scene.
Place.
The best crooks and criminals live here.
You're a wanted criminal?
You sound surprised. Is it surprising?
Now you kids be careful with those fireworks.
Violence makes our tummies tingle.
Why should we help you?
We can take down the chameleon together.
Jack
Being the
Black.
Dragon Warrior, it's who I am. Skitfish. What do I know about being a spiritual leader?
What is it you're holding?
A cookie?
You were chosen to become something more than you already are.
How should we do this? Quick and painless? Or slow and painful?
Slow and painful.
You finally met your match, chameleon.
We're not so different, you and I.
Skadoosh. Stand back. I'm gonna kick my butt.
I think going into these almost completely blind. Because the only thing I got spoiled was this, and I saw the ending of this trailer. That's why. All right. So here's the first thing. I went into this expecting not to like, because all I've heard are negative reviews. And mind you, I kind of get a lot of ideas of that, because if you go into this after watching the trailer, it spoils pretty much what the chameleon's whole thing is, as well as, her abilities. Because, ain't gonna lie, going into this, and I saw Tai Lung in the beginning, and I'm like, weird, alright? And, Tai Lung beats the shit out of people, and then, you see, you zoom in on Tai Lung, and, bring me the Dragon Warrior, and then, everybody, he looks off, you can tell, there's, well, it's right here. You can tell, there's no fur on him. You see whatever fur there is are, little bumpy scales, and he looks very scaly, hinting that it's the chameleon. And it's oh, okay. And another thing I want to go into this, okay, there's the movie Raya. The movie Raya, and even Shang-Chi, I'll say, but Raya specifically. Shisu. I love Shisu's design. Shisu's design is so damn good, and I love it. I don't like Aquafina voice. and I'm realizing now, I don't think it was really Aquafina, more as, oh, mine has a little nose mess up. Or maybe it's like supposed to be a glint. I don't know. And like, the thing is, like, maybe I think I'm realizing it wasn't Aquafina. It was probably the writing I didn't really like on her. I don't know. She felt like she was trying to do a little too much. Look, it even has, like, the dragon in the inside. It's bumpy and stuff. But, but, like, I don't know. Like, whatever it was, Aquafina in that, as well as in, like, Shang-Chi's, her character Shang-Chi. I gotta watch the vampire one. I watched those, and I'm like, I was like, I don't think I like her. Like, her voice, at least when she's playing the certain characters, I'm sorry if she ever sees this, I felt was annoying. Like, I don't think she ever really got a laugh out of me with any of those. Yeah, like, I didn't really like her and stuff like that. So going into this, I went in with low expectations because I'm like, crap, I kind of like this character's design. I'm not sure how she acts or anything like that because I haven't watched the movie yet, but I'm like, this is probably just going to be like another Aquafina role, and she's really just going to be like, why, like, Smart Aleck keeps talking, and I don't know. It's something I felt like I wasn't gonna like. And watching it, maybe it's the mix of, and I think it is the character itself, because one, I love this character design, but then I also love Shisu's design in Rhea. I like the character's backstory. I like how it melds in with this. Well, melds in with it and the character stuff like that, because here's the thing. I love a good thief. I really, really do. The character that grew up on the streets, and their whole thing is that they're really fast, but also, like, very scrappy. I love that shit. Another thing I like is how the story itself plays out, because obviously 100% you're gonna go into this and you're like, okay, because the whole thing is that Shifu says, tells Po, you have to find the next dragon warrior. You need to become the next spiritual leader, very much what Oolong was, and Oogway was, and Po doesn't want to do that. But, and like, they have a whole thing where it's similar to when the first dragon, when Po was found, where, you know, they have a whole contest thing, they have all these martial artists come in and do all these stuff, except the one dude who just poses as a panda. And Po's like, I'm gonna let the finger decide. Me, because I don't want to give up being the dragon warrior. I want to help people and stuff like that. Which also, even I do kind of like that the opening of this was, it wasn't animated in a sense, because like a lot of the fantasy openings were always animated, which I heard there wasn't an animation for the beginning of it. I'm like, that kind of sucks. But, like a 2D animation. But, in a way, I kind of also understand why it's not. Because each of the times there was one of those animations, at least if I'm remembering correctly from the other movies, it was a fantasy. Now, it's not a fantasy. Po is the Dragon Warrior. He is doing all these cool, badass shit. That is what he's doing. He doesn't need to fantasize about it anymore. He is it. And now he pretty much has to, quote-unquote, give that up, because he has to then find the new Dragon Warrior and train them. Which, again, Po pretty much rejects everyone else that comes by, and Po goes, like, I'm not giving up being the Dragon Warrior. And eventually, when a certain thief breaks into the temple and starts trying to steal shit, she's fast, she's scrappy, and, like, you know, she's doing bad stuff, but then also she knows, and they eventually, after word about Tai Lung returning, and then, like, this girl says, oh, that wasn't Tai Lung, that was the chameleon, I can tell you everything about it, stuff like that. Which, I kind of figured also, spoilers for this movie, go watch it, I liked it a lot. Spoilers for this movie, when they bring up pretty much how her and Po are very similar, how they were both outcasts, how they were orphans, who then were adopted by somebody, and, you know, raised by them and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I already know who her mother is gonna be. you can pretty much, like, if I told you that right now, and, like, I leave out who the kid is, I think you can guess who it probably is. And pretty much for closing her sentence of stealing stuff from the temple, she, he takes Poe to Juniper City, where the chameleon is, because the whole idea is that, for them to stop the chameleon, while the chameleon herself is trying to, like, some kind of ceremony on the blood moon that's going to happen in 2 days. And, well, that's the thing, the trailer kind of straight says what it is, that she's trying to steal all of the Kung Fu Master's Kung Fu, which, watching it, like, again, I kind of saw the motivation on Twitter, because people were like, what? This is stupid, this is the stupidest villain ever. Which, mind you, I don't necessarily remember I remember Pai Long wanted to become, I'm sorry for messing up names, wanted to become the Dragon Warrior himself, and that was the whole idea. He wanted the scroll. I can't remember what the Peacock thing was. It just world domination? Did he just want to kill Poe, to kill all the pandas off because of prophecy? I remember that. The other guy wanted to capture everyone in jade amulets so he could then, like, absorb their power. The chameleon is kind of like the last guy, but also, like, a mix of all of them, because she wants world domination. And the reason why she's doing all this is because apparently everywhere else in this world that she went to, except the Valley of Peace, where Valley of Peace and, like, certain areas around only know about the Dragon Warrior, all that stuff. Everywhere else said, you're too small, you can't do Kung Fu, and all this jazz. Which, we have Mantis, who's, like, this tiny. But she eventually learned witchcraft, which allowed her to...
Your match, chameleon.
We're not so different, you and I.
Which allowed her to transform like that. Also, I like that you see, like, when she transforms, you see, like, her scales move like that, which is kind of cool. Which also, I remember seeing this picture, and I'm like, oh god, does Poe become evil or something? Like, and then I watch it, I'm like, oh no, never mind, it's just chameleon transforming into him. Alright, fine. But, that being said, all that, like, I think I went off the Aquafina thing for a second. Like, that's her whole thing, and, like, she eventually needs Poe's staff to open a doorway to the afterlife, so she can then pull masters from the past and all that stuff to then absorb their soul and to absorb their, like, skills and their Kung Fu into her, and then she basically transforms and then can do stuff. There's a point, and again, like, you want to say right now, like, again, you kind of guess already who her mom is, which is funny when her mom does act like her mom at some points. That being said, like, I love this character. Like, one, like, there's some things, like, if I watch Avatar The Last Airbender, I could tell when, like, okay, firebending is more straight fist, airbending, is kind of, waterbending is, more fluid, earthbending is more, like, hard stuff. I ain't gonna lie, watching the Kung Fu Panda movies, maybe if I watched the Furious 5 doing different styles, I could probably tell, but watching, like, Poe fight, I can't really tell if he does different martial arts or not, or, like, if this girl was using an actual martial arts, but, like, I know, like, her style, at least, is, like, she's running on all fours, she's scramping around, but also doing fast movements and all this stuff. She has a hood over it, and I'm like, I love this girl. I love her movements. I love that she's a thief, that she's fast and quick. Aquafina actually, I think, does her very well, which, again, I think it's more the roles that she's been playing that I just have not liked, because I really like Zen, I think is her name, Zhen. I really like her because I love her movement. I love everything. I love that she's like, it's not, you can't really see it with these guys, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can. She's much tinier than Poe, but also, like, I like that idea where Poe pretty much was, like, a fanboy and all this stuff and pretty much a good guy all around. Like, this girl grew up on the street. She grew up as a thief and all this stuff. And, like, yeah, I like the idea of her becoming the next Dragon Warrior. I want to see Kung Fu Panda 5 and see her taking on that role a bit more. Especially even the very end, spoilers, where the Furious 5 do come in. They're not in this the entire movie because they're off doing other adventures, but eventually they do come in at the end to help train her, which I love that you kind of see, like, her using her own style. Like, she isn't where Poe, where she's, has no training at all. She has training. The one thing I will say about this movie is, like, they say, like, the chameleon has no kung fu training and stuff like that, but then she also trained Zen, so I'm like, what did you train her in? Did you train her to steal? Because she learned that also from the kung fu artist, but I guess maybe, or from the thieves and all that stuff, but I'm not entirely sure what she was trained in, but I guess it's just scrappy fighting, probably. And also thievery, because there's a lot of cool things I love about this, like, Po, one, having that staff is freaking awesome, but also, like, he is a master of kung fu in this, and, like, you see it, like, him just beat, when they go to, like, a bar called the Happy, like, was it the Happy Rabbit, and something like that, and he starts beating people up, and this girl's just running around stealing people's wallets, and, like, Poe's like, no, stop it, and just starts throwing all the money back to who that owns it where. I'm like, that's kind of funny. And then also, while it's all going on to Poe's dads, I guess live together? I don't know, maybe they're a thing, maybe they're a couple, I don't know, but they're together, they're helping, like, they have their shop and all that stuff, they're selling, like, tofu, noodles, and all this stuff, and they're, like, afraid for Poe, so they go after Poe to, like, get his back. It's a fun little thing. It's fun seeing that, like, come back to them every so often. Zen here takes Poe to Juniper City, where it's, like, the big city, shows her everything, and, her being a thief that just, like, starts stealing shit. It's great. And you see it right here where she's a wanted criminal, and I don't know, I just like this a lot, because, yeah, like, she is definitely a character that is different from Poe. And, like, and the thing is, like, unlike Poe, who really didn't have, at least it didn't really seem like, at least in the beginning, that had skill, she does have skills immediately. She has her quick wit. She has her, stealthy ninja style things. Also doesn't help that she looks like the combination between Carmelita Fox and Sly Cooper. That it's probably, like, down to being wearing blue, being all gray, but then also being a fox. Is like, if you told me this was their daughter sent back in time, or if she's, like, one of the, like, an ancestor of the Cooper clan, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I love Sly Cooper, and, like, this character feels like the closing we're gonna get to the Sly Cooper movie that was promised. I love this girl. Like, one of the reasons I got this bowl, because I saw that she came with it, and I even asked the people behind this, like, so are the figures, like, random? Or she's like, no, you get 3 of them. You get the dad, or he said the mom, Poe, and the little fox. I'm like, got it, I want it. Because I'm like, yeah, why the hell not? I get a cool bowl, I get these guys, I'll probably eat cereal out of this. But, no, yeah, I love this. I love a good thief character. I love a good thief character who can just, like, will effortlessly just steal shit. It's kind of fun. I like, and her being a fox, too, just, yeah, and wears blue, yes. I love that. The kung fu fighting all was really fun, really great. I gotta rewatch the Kung Fu Panda movies. Maybe I never paid attention to them. But, like, at least, again, right now, like, again, it takes me a bit to kind of remember what exactly certain things happened. And, like, I remember certain things, like, the original one is, that was probably one I remember the most. Poe accidentally gets picked by Oogway. Everyone doesn't like him and all that stuff. I remember that one. The second movie, I remember they show, like, Poe's past about the peacock killing the pandas, because the pandas, there's a whole prophecy thing about the pandas ending him. I can't remember his motivation. Like, was he trying to take over the world? I can't remember that. I think there was some other Kung Fu masters there. The third one, I remember J. Jonah Jameson voicing the Ox guy. I remember that he takes people and turns them into jade talismans that gives them his power. He takes Oogway's soul in the afterlife and all this stuff. I remember that. But I don't remember anything really specific. Maybe it's because there's a lot of action to it. Oh, wait, and I also remember that the pandas have, like, special chi powers and, like, special healing. And then obviously there's, like, the whole thing where in the second movie Poe does, like, the firecracker thing and, like spins it around before firing it back for and like inner peace. And then the other one was like him learning how to do the chi thing and all that. I remember basically some of it. I don't know. I like this one a lot. I like this character a lot. Like, I want to see more. Like, here's the thing. There are so many. If there was maybe there is. If there was ever a movie that they could make into a, like, have a tie-in game, I want it to be this. Especially because somewhere I might stream it. I played a little bit of it, but I haven't beaten it. The Legend of Korra video game. Which you could barely ever, like, I tried finding a physical copy, turns out it's only digital, and it's delisted, and I found it through certain ways. That being said, I'm playing it, it's really fun. I like the fighting, and I love the kung fu stuff in it, or the different fighting styles, the martial arts, and, like, looking at it, I'm like, yeah, you could probably do something like that with Kung Fu Panda. It'd be cool, like, having, like, you know, Zen have her own fighting style, Scrappy fighting style, then Poe having all these different, I don't know, I think it'd be cool and fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I thought it was really great. The chameleon is a cool idea, so do her how she transforms, stuff like that. But like we only really see her like use it to like deceive people like maybe 2 or 3 times in the movie, which I feel like they probably could have had her be more like popular every so often. But then again, the whole thing is that, spoilers again, a certain character is leading Poe to her, which makes a lot of sense for different things. Like, why are you just giving away this information for free? It's like, okay, yeah, but also there's a point where she puts a cuff on Sifu's arm. Is that right? The master, the little red panda, and a goose's neck, like really quick, and you can even see it. You're like, all right, but like it's funny because the shackle doesn't even fit over Sifu's arm, but I think it's just like an idea of like that she did it. But no, yeah, I think this movie was really fun. And again, it has that whole feel like the same thing with like oh yeah, and I forgot to mention like
Being the Dragon Warrior, it's who I am.
Like that's like a new special ability that Poe has. I use with the staff, which he then teaches to her, and I love that too. Because then I want to see her as the Dragon Warrior. I want to see her, like, we've already seen how she is with just her thief skills, her thief fighting. I want to see her thief style. I want to see her with the Dragon Warrior style, with a different fighting style and stuff like that. Because even when she's fighting like, it's kind of like when they do a scene at the very end where Poe is training with the Furious Five in the first movie. In this, she's like, unlike Poe, who's like just got the crap kicked out of her, she does, like, you see that she has some skill. You do see that, like, even certain things, like, she's able to do it her own way. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like Poe's the whole thing, yes, he learns his own way too, and it's through food and all this stuff. I get that too. But I don't know, just the idea of, like, someone who does it through thievery and stealth and all that stuff. I love that also, and I want to see that. And again, a video game like this would be great. Or just freaking re-release the Sly Cooper games. Or just make Sly Cooper 5. Yeah, it's 5, because 4 was through time, and then 5 would be, they have to get Sly out from the past. But, yeah. I like this a lot. If you like Sly, honestly, I say this right now. If you like Sly Cooper, I definitely think this is a movie you definitely want to check out. I don't know. I know people are tearing it apart and stuff like that. Also, spoilers. Because, you know, this already kind of gives spoilers, but whatever. There's a kaiju in this, too. So not only do I get a Sly Cooper-style little fox character who's a thief, who is going to be the next Dragon Warrior. Because, again, I like that idea. I love that idea that, yeah. Obviously, yeah, like Poe, it's like Poe in a sense where she's an unlikely character to be the next Dragon Warrior. But also, I like that idea because it's a character who is from crime and then becoming, like, the next hero. I love that shit. I love this character. And I want to see her fight. I want to see her, like, using those thief skills while also being the Dragon Warrior. Also, I like the whole big paws thing with, like, I don't know. Style is great. I like these. I like the movie. Yeah, you see the dragon in there. I don't know if you can. But anyways, it was great. I liked it a lot. Tell me what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching. And again, like someone who doesn't like who likes Shisu's design and like everything that happened, but didn't like Aquafina because I don't know, maybe the jokes weren't funny or just like I don't know, she was just annoying to me in that movie. I like this one a lot because she's the exact opposite of Shizu. She's not really naive. She's like quick-witted. She's kind of like, you know, like at one point she kind of gets a little depressed at one point, but then like, you know, wants to make up for like bad things she's done. I like this character a lot. Poe is cool. The dads are awesome. This girl, I like her a lot. I want to see Kung Fu Panda 5, and I want to see her and Poe kick more ass. I want to see this girl use some more Dragon Warrior stuff. But thanks for watching the videos that I've done. Links are on my Facebook and Instagram for videos. Hopefully enjoy this, and we will. See you later. I don't know if I mentioned it. I can't remember if I mentioned it or not. But yeah, I forgot to, you know, Carmelita and Sly Cooper's daughter, yeah, but also there's a goddamn kaiju fight in it, and it's kind of freaking great. And they like kung fu fighting a giant kaiju, and I'm like, holy shit, this is freaking awesome. And yeah, it's great.